Currently, the United States economy is breaking, but yet most people don't see it yet. But here's the issue. This is not just one problem. Everybody's looking to find that one problem. Oh, gas prices are too high. Okay. Unemployment is going up. Inflation is going through the roof. Everybody's looking for that one problem. But here's the issue. It's not one problem. It's all these little problems that combine make a massive, massive issue. And that's the problem that we're facing. But again, most people don't see it. Look at some of the problems that we're facing right now. Look at this one.
I am so sick of people talking about the economy and how people need to just stop buying coffee or wait till they can afford kids to have them. It's tough out here for everyone. I'm a controls engineer. I have a good job. I've been doing this for a minute. You can Google a controls engineer salary. I should be able to live very comfortably as a single man with 3 kids. I should have no financial struggles. I should be able to afford a home. I should be able to afford a brand new car. And all of this while taking trips and having vacations. And I live in a trailer.
This is somebody that makes over $100,000 a year and is broke. Okay, lives in a trailer, has a good car, has 3 kids, not taking vacations, but living paycheck to paycheck. What we have seen over the past several months is more and more people making over $100,000 per year are living paycheck to paycheck. But it's just one of the signs that the economy is about to shift. Look at some of these other ones. Look at this one right here.
7-Eleven preparing to close at least 600 stores across the U.S. this year. This all comes as part of a major shift into its business strategy. The company says the closures will focus on underperforming locations and will upgrade to new, larger stores that prioritize expanded menu options over traditional convenience items.
This is something that we've been seeing for a while. Right now, the United States consumer, the average consumer, doesn't want to opt for convenience. Not in a brick and mortar store. Not anymore. If they want convenience, they'll order from Amazon, from Walmart and get it delivered, from Target, get it delivered. That is the convenience factor. No longer are we going into 7-Eleven to buy a soda and a bag of chips. No. Instead, we'll go and buy a soda at either a restaurant, a fast food restaurant, or at the grocery store. That's what we're going to do. And so now 7-Eleven is even saying that, yeah, things have changed. Their consumer is changing. And as the consumer changes, some of these stores are not as profitable, which means they're going to shut them down. But it's not just 7-Eleven either. Look at this one.
Fast food chain Wendy says it's planning to close hundreds of restaurants as it suffers a business downturn. The fast food giant says it's shutting down about 5 to 6% of its U.S. chain locations, equating to around 240 to 360 store closures. Wendy says the move comes following an 11% drop in sales domestically and a 10% drop in global sales in the fourth quarter.
So Wendy saw an 11% drop domestically. They're going to close almost 250 locations, 250 to 300 locations over the next year. Because what Wendy's is saying is, well, they're not as profitable anymore. Consumers are not shopping or out going to Wendy's like they used to. When Wendy's had that 4 for $4 deal, they saw their sales rose. People were going to Wendy's because it was cheaper than McDonald's. It was cheaper than going to Burger King. It was cheaper than In-N-Out and Chick-fil-A. It was so much cheaper. But now they've shifted. People are realizing that it's cheaper to buy food from the grocery store and cook it at home. That was normally the case. But especially right around 2021, 2022, we saw that it was cheaper to get fast food than it was to go to the grocery store because we have supply chain disruptions. Now, not so much. Now, people are, again, they're only opting for convenience if they have to. And what we're seeing right now is they're not really doing it. People would rather cook, go buy the ingredients and make it at home to save even a couple bucks. They would rather do that than spend a little bit extra, have it already prepared. Again, that's a sign of what's coming in this economy. But here's an even bigger one. Look at this.
Got big problems at Home Depot. They just reported their worst revenue miss in 20 years. Their sales are declining. Their income is down by almost 10% year over year. And their sales outlook for the rest of 2023 is bad. And that's because the recession is hitting Home Depot. Fewer people are spending money on discretionary items like home building projects. Fewer builders are building homes. The price of lumber has crashed over the last year. And the result is you go into their lumber section and the shelves are stocked. They're
full. Look at all that lumber that was there. But what's interesting about this, and I think this is very interesting, I even did a video here on this channel like a week ago on Home Depot and the warnings that they were sending us. But one of the things that Home Depot was saying is that their consumers are changing their habits, their spending habits. They've shifted. They're not looking to renovate their home. They're not looking to go and fix things that are kind of broken. I remember talking to a friend of mine and I asked him, roughly how many months do you wait to change your filter in your AC? And he said, well, normally before, he would replace it every 3 months. And I said, well, that's interesting. I replace mine every month. Is that overkill? And he said, no, that's some people do that. I replace every single one of my filters on the first of every single month. Just something that I've always done. And he said, normally we usually wait like 2 or 3 months. But lately, he's waiting 4 months. Okay, 4 months. And this is somebody that also runs his own HVAC company. He said he waits 4 months. And the reason why is because that the little cost, it adds up. Instead of buying those filters, and again, for somebody that has an HVAC company, you'd think that they really want to stay on top of this. Which made me really wonder, well, you instead of 2 months, you go 3 months. And instead of 3 months, now you're going 4 months. Because instead of paying for 4 filters for a year, now you're paying for 3. You're saving like $20 to $30. Okay, that's per filter. Okay, so I thought that was interesting. But again, that shows that consumers are changing. We're changing our habits. I even have a friend that he recently changed his internet, where he had very high-speed internet. I don't remember exactly how fast the uploads and downloads were. Let's say it was like 100 by 100. He changed it to now it's 10 by 10. His upload speed is, I believe, 10 gigabytes. A download is 10 gigabytes as well. Okay, he changed it because that's going to save him about $15 a month. Okay, I get it. You save $15 a month there. Maybe you save $20 on an air filter. Maybe you shower one less time per week. For the whole family, maybe that saves you an extra $15 to $20 a month. I don't know. But all those little costs added up, that actually adds up to a pretty substantial number. But this is where things are really getting interesting, okay? When it comes to real estate. Listen to this one as well, because right now, I know a lot of people that are trying to sell their homes. Keyword, trying to sell their homes.
Why isn't my house selling? Let me save you some time. It's probably not what you think, huh? It's not because your agent doesn't want to do open houses, and it's not the photos, unless they were taken from a flip phone from 2007, okay? It's not the market, and it's not that the buyers just aren't looking right now. It's the price, it's the price, it's the price. Buyers don't skip good homes. They skipped overpriced homes.
Think about that one for a second. Now, why does this matter? Well, this aligns with everything else. Okay, let me just paint this picture for you as well, because this is something that I have not personally experienced, but is very close. A good friend of mine lost his job. So he lost his job working for a tech company. So he ended up losing his job, had to move out of his condo in Seattle. Well, here's the issue. He moved out of his condo to go live in his rental house in another city. Again, very close to Seattle. And so he moved out of his condo, got out of that lease, went to his house, and then he's having to sell his house. He hasn't been able to sell his house because it needs a little bit of work, and in my opinion, it's overpriced, which the market, I think, kind of agrees. So he lost his job. Then he couldn't renovate his house because, well, it was going to be a little bit expensive. So he decided not to do that, just put it on the market, try to sell it. He can't sell his home now. He's struggling, and now there's all these other homes. This is where things are at. Now, realtors aren't getting paid because they can't move homes. Lenders are not making much money because they're not actually originating any loans. That's an issue. The title companies not making money. The inspectors not making money. The contractors not making money. You see the issue. You see how a lot of people are not making money, all because of one domino. The one domino has fallen, and now everybody is feeling the pain. This is why I'm bringing it to your attention. The U.S. economy is struggling. We are feeling the effects right now, but yet some people are oblivious to the fact that the United States economy is going through this transition, which is why I'm bringing it to your attention now before it's too late. Don't go out there and waste all your money. Don't do it just yet, because I guarantee you things are likely going to get worse before they ever get better. So I'll leave you with that, but let me know down in the comment section below. What are some of the signs that you are seeing that proves the U.S. economy is struggling right before our very eyes?